So I was driving down the Interstate 5 freeway in Northern California, and everything came to a grinding halt. And we were crawling for, I don't know, about 30 minutes or so an hour. And when I eventually got to the scene of the accident, it was two semi trucks that got into it. And the traffic was being diverted into the center divider, into the dust. So all this dust is getting kicked up. If you see the trucks here, they are pretty messed up. You could see how one of the trailers, just the whole side is just ripped open. You know, when you're dealing with this much weight, these machines are beasts. They're monsters, you know. They can do serious damage. It's unfortunate for these two truckers. Hopefully nobody got injured in the process. But yeah, we see all kinds of accidents as we drive. Oh my God, finally got this washed, man. Crazy, huh? Look at that. Beautiful. Finally, man. So it's day 4 so far of this week. The last 3 days I've been struggling with a cold. I saw my granddaughter this weekend and I thought she had allergies, and it ended up she had a full-blown ear infection and runny nose and everything, and anyway, I ended up getting it. Usually I'm pretty good at not getting sick, but yeah, I think it's probably the third time this year, second or third time this year, which isn't too bad for a whole year, right? But yeah, I have a little bit of a congestion and I can feel it inside my ears too, so yeah. But anyway, they brought me here back to Mesa with these oil barrels, and let me see if I'm back here, you know, in my in this place I have to back into. And second time around, well, yeah, and I didn't have a tight squeeze in between two semis. I had one semi on my left, and on my right it was empty, so it was a little easier. I didn't have to stress out as much. And then I had a car in front of me, so that was kind of annoying. But other than that, you know, I got it in. I guess when they realize you're okay at one location, they keep sending you back. Because it's like one of those probably everybody complains about, right? And I didn't complain to them that it sucked here, but you know what, though? The second time around, it's totally doable. And probably if they send me back again, I'll do it again. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, life of a trucker. Gotta love these recycling places, huh? It's a zoo here. It's a Saturday, too. And this is how busy it is. Crazy, huh? Yeah, I just finished sweeping out that back of that trailer after that recycling plant. They wouldn't sweep it out. They left a mess in there. And, you know, it's always the driver's responsibility to bring a clean trailer. And so, yeah, swept that out. But I did it on their yard because they wouldn't do it. They said, you know, if I need to talk to their boss. So I just said, you know what, this is nonsense. So I went ahead and got the broom, went back there and just brushed it all out. And that's the best way to do it right there, you know, because you don't have to deal with that trash. Because the minute that you drive off with that trailer, all of a sudden, where are you going to dispose of that trash, you know? You can't just brush it out to anywhere, you know? So you brush out onto their yard and they can deal with it, you know. Sometimes you have to ask the questions that you need to ask and take some action, because if not, it becomes a problem for you later. You know, later on they'll call you and say, hey, you left a messy trailer, you brought back a messy trailer, you know. Or when they're trying to load you, they said, we can't load you because your trailer's a mess, it's not emptied out. And that becomes your issue then, right? So you have to be proactive with this stuff. What is going on, my people? So this week was a lot better. I had about a little bit shy of 2,400 miles. The only drawback was I was dealing with this head cold, and it was kind of miserable. But outside of that, worked pretty much the full 70-hour week, and got about, yeah, nearly 2,400 miles. I have to see the final numbers when I get paid, probably. And one run up to NorCal and 2 runs back and forth to the Phoenix area. Now, when I went to NorCal, I finally dealt with the computer issue I had inside my truck, and they repaired it. The mechanics in NorCal, you know, there's a lot of good mechanics that Schneider works with, but the ones at NorCal at French Camp, they're called Morella Tech. Those guys are really good. Awesome. They are very attentive, and they are Johnny on the spot every single time. Some of the places that I go to, they're so backed up with, they're just busy. They have a lot of trucks waiting in line pretty much to get looked at. Here, they're busy too, but they make time for you, or at least they make time for me. And they took really good care of me. Almost always, it doesn't derail me from my deliveries. It just eats up some of my downtime. So when I clock out, they take care of me. It's weird how it worked that way. I don't know if it'll continue to work that way. I don't know if I just got lucky, but yeah. Anyway, they're great. If you're a Schneider driver and you need repairs or maintenance, go to the guys at the French Camp location. They're in our VTL lot in the French Camp location. Now, I had some really challenging backup situations this week, but all in all, I think you just get used to the challenges. Just slow down a little bit. It takes a little bit longer. Sometimes you have to pull up once or twice more and squeeze yourself in there, and it all worked out. So it wasn't that bad. I was stuck in a lot of traffic when I was driving through Southern California mostly, and it was annoying. Yeah. And then I had some traffic in Arizona and the Phoenix area as well, but nothing compared to Southern California. I know why a lot of drivers want to avoid driving in Southern California. You just see like an hour and a half, 2 hours just disappear because you're sitting there. and you don't really get paid for that. You're just sitting there going like what, 5 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, and then stop, wait a little bit. It's crazy. So which brings me to the point of truck driving as an adventure. A lot of things in life are kind of like an adventure. You pretty much tackle the unknown and see where you end up. There's a lot of risks, there's a lot of randomness, and there's also a lack of certainty on where you will end up. And that's how, a lot of adventures are like that. It could be dangerous, it could be it could turn bad, or it could be really good, or it could be great. You don't know. And that's part of life. A lot of life is an adventure. It depends on who you are and how you take it. But with every adventure comes tons of obstacles, problem solving, and you need to deal with BS from time to time, if not all the time. It just wouldn't be an adventure if you didn't have those challenges and obstacles. If it was just a walk in the park, it's not an adventure. It's just a walk in the park, right? Now, I might have mentioned this in the past, but one of the things that is toxic, that can get toxic with trucking or pretty much any job, is the level of negative energy that comes out of you. I think we human beings, we deal with problems a certain way. We try to process it first, and we vent. We let it out. If some BS happens to us, or if problems happen to us, then we have to let somebody know, hey, this is not cool, or I can't believe I'm going through this crap. Like we vent it, and that's healthy because you don't want to bottle it all in. It's not good. You might go postal. You might go crazy. It's good to share your pain and your experience with other people. Now, the danger of that negative complaining or that negative energy is that it's just nonstop. Even though things improve, sometimes we're just sitting there complaining. And we don't differentiate our real bad days with just crummy days or just normal days even. We're about 50% of the stuff coming out of our mouth is like, yeah, I'm going through this crap. I'm going through this, And I fall into that category from time to time, and I have to watch myself because I don't want to be constantly pouring out negative energy to other people and constantly reaffirming negative energy back to myself. And it's like giving a dose of negative energy back. We don't even think it's affecting us, but it affects us in a huge way. Another thing too is that it's almost like a defense mechanism. Us complaining is to try to repel any more potential negative things happening to us. Subconsciously, we think it's doing something, but it's really not. It's just ruining our day even more. And so my suggestion is keep checking yourself. No matter how tough it gets out there, you could probably handle it. You're not going through anything you can't really handle. Even if it gets really bad, you can still handle it most of the time, right? There's rarely from time to time, it's going to be very impossible or difficult to handle. But I bet you 99% of our problems we can manage. And so what I would say is, vent it out, let the steam out of that kettle, whatever, just let it out, and then refocus and try to stay as positive as possible every day, every moment. This is important to succeed as a driver. If you keep harping on the negatives, and if you keep reminding yourselves of the negatives, if you keep talking about the negatives, if you keep, you're going to have that, the shit face, the crap face, that face that you carry around while you're driving. Because what are you doing? We're saying, oh, I'm not in a good mood, or, I have reason to be upset, but what is it doing? What positive outcome is coming out of that? I mean, how is it benefiting you? I get it. When things get bad, we need to let it out. After we let it out, then you know what? Move on. So that's something that I got to keep reminding myself. Because if you get in these negative rants or negative routines. It just becomes a part of your personality. It becomes a part of your day. And you end up sucking the energy out of other people. You can't bless other people. You're just self-consumed with your problems, and it's not healthy. And you're going to get yourself sick. And I guarantee you keep this up and you will burn out of trucking faster than you know it. Because guess what? You associate trucking with BS and problems. And it's no longer an adventure that you're going to conquer. It's more of oh, that was total BS. I wouldn't recommend it at all. I got out of there as fast as I could. Guess what? Probably because the negative energy overtook you. And that negative energy, yeah, there's problems that happen and there's other people that make your day crummy. It happens. There's drivers out there that make it ruin your day, that completely ruin your day. And then there's ourself, which is probably the biggest culprit. If we keep that negative energy flowing and cycling it in our head and in our, through our mouth, and our soul, our being is just weighed down with this negative energy. And I want to encourage you guys, avoid that trap. You will not last long in trucking. You won't last long in any job, And, the cool guy, tough guy complaining, it's all BS. It's a weak man, weak woman, weak person just trying to repel potential problems coming their way or trying to digest it, but unable to cope with it, And most problems we deal with, we can manage. It's not the end of the world. It'll derail us from time to time. It'll affect us. It'll, take a chunk out of our day. But at the end of the day, we move on, we go forward, and we are going to conquer this adventure. We're going to succeed. All right. Me, you, all of us, we're going to leave on our own terms and with the right attitude. We're not going to sit there and let this thing beat us. But yeah, so this week I drove with a cold. I had a lot of little annoying issues, but it wasn't a bad week. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be stressed, Yeah. So God bless all of you. Have a great week. Stay safe out there. Peace. And until I talk to you next time, cheers.